Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Well, hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. We appreciate you being here. For those of you listening to audio only, we have cameras now, and our podcast can also be found on YouTube. Just search for the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas once there, and you'll see me in my giant head talking to lovely people. Please be sure to like and subscribe. We would very much appreciate that.
Good news.
Well, we are knee-deep into the winter storm that's been brewing. As you know, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get above freezing until Friday. That, of course, means that folks who depend on us to eat and drink at their establishments will be shut down for a few days. Please remember that when you're able to get back out and eat and drink, they'll certainly need our support. Speaking of Friday, that's when the much-anticipated Casa Magnolia in downtown Springdale will be holding their grand opening at 10 a.m. The latest effort from the James Beard Award semifinalist for Best Chef in the South, Rafael Rios, was originally supposed to open yesterday, but of course they pushed it because of the weather. It's being described as a community art cafe. Looking forward to that one. Congrats to Slim Chickens. They had their 22nd birthday on Monday. To celebrate, they had discounted Chicks meals. Speaking of Slims, here's the video from last week of their original location being torn down. As it turns out, it'll now be a drive-through only location, and the plan is still to open this summer. The former Highway 112 Drive-In Theater in Fayetteville is back on the market. You might recall that the plans for it included a mixed-use development to be anchored by an Alamo Drafthouse. In fact, this would have been their first attempt at having a drive-in movie theater. Well, last June, Sony Pictures bought the Alamo Drafthouse out of bankruptcy, with Fayetteville no longer in their immediate plans. Congrats today to Trey Fincher, the exceptional bartender at the Guisinger in Fayetteville. It was announced yesterday that he's one of the 2025 United States Bartenders Guild world-class top 30 bartenders in the U.S. Here's how he found out.
I found out this morning, actually. I was opened up my phone after the snow started, kind of got stuck at the house, and saw that they had announced, but hadn't checked my email. So I just assumed I didn't make it. And then I got to doing some work, and I opened my email finally, and I saw that their email was there, and I clicked on it. Instead of saying sorry, it said congratulations. So yeah, it's been a good morning, I'd say.
Next, he heads to Atlanta to compete, where he will work to try and get into the top 10, and from there try to take the whole damn enchilada. Here's what he's expecting.
When I get there, I'll have, I believe it's 2 competitions each day, so 6 competitions. Or I think it's 4 competitions, and they include things like speed. There's a speed round. There's one that's kind of like a Iron Chef round, where you go in and you're given a surprise ingredient, and you've got 20 minutes to turn something out.
Right on.
And there's, lots of times, since Diageo is the sponsor, lots of times there will be a using one of their spirits and coming up with something new and creative. Sometimes there's some direction given on what that might be. Sometimes it's just you do what you want.
Now some sad news to report. Mo Beignets, the food truck at Bentonville Brewing, will close at the end of the month. Owner Dwight Winfield said in a social media post that it wasn't an easy choice, but he feels it's the right one. Check out their social media if you have any interest in buying a food trailer. The Venetian Inn was opened in 1947 by Germano Gasparotto in Tontitown, and a few years later sold to John and Mary Granata. Several generations down the line, one of their great-grandsons now runs it with his wife. You'll meet Jeff and Melissa Bowen here shortly. They took it over right before COVID with very little restaurant experience. They'll tell you how they survived that. Also, how hard is it to change the menu of a 78-year-old restaurant? The Bowens shuddered at that question. Oh, and the Venetian Inn used to be just that, an inn, and much more. Jeff used to run around and play in there as a kid. We'll talk about what's still original to the restaurant, and we'll talk menu, as there are some new menu additions. We're at the Venetian Inn in Tontitown. That's next, right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Welcome back to the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas. We are at the historic Venetian Inn, and we're here with Jeff and Melissa Bowen. Guys, thank you for your time. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
I know you're off there, you're closed today, but I appreciate you letting me in, and, you don't get a lot of off time from the restaurant, so thanks for letting me in.
Thank you for reaching out to us.
My pleasure, my pleasure. You guys are going on year number 78. I know Jeff's already planning a birthday bash for 80. What's in the works?
Just
back in the head cooking there?
Yes.
Some ideas?
Oh, yeah.
Bands out front, back, everywhere?
Just something is just... I
Something's
can't put
brewing.
it together.
Okay. Well, you got time.
Yes.
You got plenty of time. No worries about that. Obviously, we've got to start with the history. And the history here is unrivaled in our area. Opened in 1947.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Germano Gasparotto. And then a few years later, was sold to John and Mary Granata. Your great-grandparents, but
Yes.
they were related. It's been in the family the whole time. Tell me about that.
Oh, man. It's just...
So, can I say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's good.
Our daughters just recently joined the Tontitown Museum, the board of directors, and my daughter went to a conference in Fort Smith last year, and she came back and she said, "Mom, you're not going to believe this." She said, "I finally found out that Germano, the Gasparottos, were actually cousins." So we had no idea.
Oh, wow.
So we're really excited to tell people, okay, it's truly been in the family
Yeah.
for all along, 78 years.
That's crazy. Now, Jeff, you're the descendant, and so they were your great grandparents.
Yes.
Do you have any memories from when you were basically knee high to a grasshopper of them?
Yes.
Ooh,
I remember sitting there eating Nilla wafers.
the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and coffee, dunking them in the coffee.
You as a kid?
Yes. Yes. Oh, what? 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
And it was here. You would do it here.
We'd do it at their house.
Okay,
We'd just
gotcha.
meet them at the house.
Nice. So what kind of people were they?
Mom says Nono was kind of a scary man.
Oh.
Had big hands.
Okay.
So they wouldn't.
Think Italian mafia, maybe.
Well, no.
They were kind of like one of those.
Yeah. The way Mom described him, she was scared of him. It's just. Yeah. But he caught him playing around the winery or whatever, they would get in trouble.
Get a little disciplined.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, that's, you got to do that, I guess. That's great. So, it was when it started, and the reason it's called the Venetian Inn was because it was also a gas station and cabins, basically. Tell me the story about that.
Germano, him and his wife, the way I understand from his relatives or descendants, he wanted a one-stop shop, and he wanted to build a place for him and his wife to retire. This was going to be their last, place, and they would just sit here and just enjoy and kind of retire.
Absolutely.
So, I had Phillips 66 on the corner.
Yeah.
Had, I want to say it was 5 or 6
Okay.
motels. And then
Cabins, motels.
Yeah, cabins. In fact, there's one right beside us right now, still there.
It's our
That's great.
bathroom and storage area now.
Yeah.
And
It's helpful.
Yeah.
had a store up front, and it was, last I remember, is Homer's liquor store.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was a service garage, gas station. Remember playing out there.
Yeah. And I actually, you guys showed me a picture earlier, and I'll post that on there as well. But that's awesome. It's amazing that this place has lasted through all of that.
Yes.
It's a long, long time place for sure. Well, let's see. Then it gets passed down to John and Mary pass it down to Alice and husband Paul. And Alice was the beloved prankster.
Yes.
I believe you got a story or two.
Oh, man.
About Alice.
Oh, she knows just as much as I do, too.
Some of them are not rated PG.
We can do up to PG-13.
There you go. I mean, she could actually tell a joke, a dirty joke to just about anybody, but basically father and a preacher could be in here sitting there. She could tell the same dirty joke and everybody come out laughing. She was just a jokester.
Oh,
Can I tell the story about the beer guy?
My answer is yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you're looking at me, but I'm in.
Okay, so our beer distributor, McBride Distributing,
Yes.
where we have to get our beer from, the guy comes out here to bring us a sign, and he says, "Oh my gosh," he said, "I have the funniest story I have to tell you." I'm like, "Okay, great. What is he going to tell me?" He said, "So this guy's probably in his 60s now, about ready to retire. Forgive me if I'm wrong with that. He could be younger, but anyway." He comes out here and he says he was 18, his first driving delivery job, and he comes to deliver some beer, and he comes up to the door, and Aunt Alice comes up out of the kitchen, and it's hot, it's summer, and there's no AC in the back, and she comes out only wearing her bra and her pants, and she says, "Come on in, bring the beer in right here." And he said, I was so embarrassed. He was only 18, and so I told him, I said, "Well, I can guarantee you right now, I will always be wearing my shirt."
There you go.
you
That's
come in.
good. That's good. Times do change a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. That's great. So, you guys eventually, actually, it goes from that point to Johnny and Linda.
Yes.
In 1992, and they had it for a while. And then from there is when you guys took it over.
Yes.
And gosh, I don't know that it was something that you thought you'd be doing now back in the day.
Absolutely not.
No.
Oh, wow.
It's not the background. It was a big change for you.
Yes, it was.
Tell me about it. What your background was, and what made you really kind of want to get back into it. Is that's one way of saying it to a degree.
Well, I drove a truck for 29 years.
Yeah.
I can tell you about driving a truck.
Yeah, there you go.
I retired from that in September, and I don't know. I had a chance to take on the restaurant, and it's been in the family, and I said, yeah. I did. It was probably without looking at numbers or anything. I just said yes.
Yeah. Because you grew up running around here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got some old stories about that, too,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Played rose bushes out front, and the old chain link fence that they grew up on. And
Didn't y'all used to say you played in one of the hotel rooms, like right before they closed it down?
Played all over here. I always jumped around on we call it the old doghouse, the well in the back. We'd jump on that. The old server's garage, by the time, it was already gone, but there was a gas pump area with a phone booth in it. We'd go out here at 412, 68, 412, busy,
Sure.
We'd be right 10 feet, 5 feet from the road, just playing in a phone booth, just having a good old time.
Oh, my
I mean,
gosh.
kids just running around everywhere. So, I mean, you'd go out back and throw rocks out in the field.
Sure.
Or just whatever.
Yeah.
The horses were out there and play with.
Great way to grow up.
Yes.
So if Aunt Alice, if she knew you when you were standing in line, and if she knew you, she would come up and I think lines are around the building. And I heard the story of Jeff and his mother and his family out here standing in line, and Aunt Alice would come get you, and she'd drag you out, and you'd have to walk around all these people, and they'd be embarrassed, like, no, I don't want to do it, because they'd been standing in line a while, and she'd just pull you to the front, because your family, or she knew you, and bring you all in
or we
and
go
sit you
through the
down.
back.
That's great.
Or go to the back door.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great. That's wonderful. Well, like I said, you guys take it over, and then 7 months later, the big C, COVID. That's not the big C. The big C is something else. But yeah, COVID.
Yeah. For a restaurant, that is the
Yeah.
big city.
Well, yeah,
It definitely
yes,
changed
right?
restaurants forever.
Well, you guys were still figuring things out
Yes.
For yourselves. And then all of a sudden, you got to, like every other place in Northwest Arkansas, you got to lay off your staff, and you guys got to figure out a way to make it float.
Yes. And we got to really spend a lot of time learning, the recipes.
Yeah.
Literally for us. That way we could explain to whoever came in, to help us later on, cook-wise, server-wise,
Sure.
whatever. This is how the Venetian Inn has done it. At that time was 74 years?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So you want to keep that tradition going.
Sure.
That's been here forever. And then build off of that.
Sure.
Make sure there's a foundation. The foundation's been here for 78 years. So now we got to go back there and kind of move things around so we can see that foundation.
We had more time because it was just the three of us. It was just Jeff and I and our oldest daughter, Allison. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
We got rid of all the staff. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I get it. It's not like you'd worked through a pandemic before.
We stayed takeout about 9 months, a lot longer than other restaurants, but we did it because we were new. We didn't know. We were learning.
Yeah.
And by those days when it was really, really slow, and we would go back there and figure it out.
Yeah.
We were just kind of thrown into it. I mean, I'd never worked in a restaurant before. I'd been a server when I was like 15 and worked at Burger King as a teenager, but I had no clue.
This ain't Burger King.
I don't know. We learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot. I was a stay-at-home mom. He was driving a truck, and we just took over a restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh.
What's that movie? So I Bought a Zoo? Was that it?
Yeah. So I bought a restaurant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess I came up with something that just hit me through COVID. And I said, it's kind of a rebirthing of the restaurant. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that it's changing or whatever. It's just kind of a bringing it back.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And that's what, to me, seems like there was a new chapter.
Well, and through that, you were in the back.
Yes.
And you're basically the one that's got to keep the foundation of like the recipes and everything like that going. And it's good that you were the one able to do it. So now down the line, you're able to teach others.
Yes.
And I was in the front answering the phone, taking all the to-go orders by myself and trying to keep it going and keep it together.
And the qualities is there.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some busy nights.
Yes.
Oh, our weekends were crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
and it was just me up here. And my daughter finally, I said, hey, I need some help. So she would come up and help me out. And she'd help take the orders, help get them out. And then she'd run back there and make the food.
I was about to say, you were slinging back there.
Oh, yeah. We were,
They were going crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
Crazy nights.
30, 45 minutes to get a plate.
Oh, I had to
out.
apologize.
Sometimes
I had to do a lot of apologizing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of tears.
But everybody understood. It's most of the clientele, the customers.
Sure.
They understood.
Yes.
Take your time, relax.
Yeah, we had a few people that when we'd make some posts and that we'd say, I'm sorry, but we'd see everybody else opening back up, and I just said, I'm sorry, here at the Venetian Inn, we feel that this is best for us. And so we had a few people that were super, super nice. And said, you know what, we're going to support you. And they did.
Great.
They would faithfully come out at least once a week while we were doing that. And I'd say thank you to all those people. If I don't know their names, thank you so much.
There was a big spirit of people going to local restaurants just to get takeout or doing pickup. Not only for, going there for dinner or getting dinner from there, but to kind of help people make it through.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I read an article and I posted it on Facebook, and I was still new at this and everything, but there were so many restaurants around the country that were not making it. I mean, in California, a restaurant, 88 years, they survived like World War II. They survived a fire, but COVID comes, they don't make it. So I put something out there and I just said, hey, if you have a favorite local restaurant and you like it, you better go support them because they may not be there tomorrow.
Yeah. No question.
Yeah.
No question.
We sat and we cried.
Oh, we did a lot of crying.
You get to an 80, 100, 100-year-old restaurant or bar. It doesn't matter, business. That's rough.
Yeah.
Some people were nice. Some people were very, very nice. But then some people were mean.
Pretty ugly.
I mean, I would be out here in the dining room a couple times crying, and there's customers here. But I said, look, I'm sorry. This is new to so many of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do what you do, and you make it up as you go along.
Got to keep floating. Got to keep floating. Well, and then you guys got to start moving some tables out because you're going to have some people coming in.
Yes.
Tell me about that process. And speaking of which, one of the tables we're sitting at now is an original table, the 1947.
Yes.
My gosh, there's a lot of that around.
Germano he was a carpenter.
So he made this.
He made these tables. He made the ceilings, all the woodwork. He did all of the walls. He did the floor. It's a terrazzo floor original from 47.
Is it really?
Yes.
All this is original.
It's all Venetian.
Wow.
They misspelt the restaurant name on purpose because of the way I understand. There's so much of the Venetian blinds being put up in Northwest Arkansas at that time. So
okay.
He just misspelled it, and it's been that way forever.
Now it's a brand.
Yes.
If you go to the museum, there's quite a bit. The Tontitown Museum,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of information and pictures and history. Somebody there's got a lot of stuff on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm interested now. I kind of want to go check it out and
He
look.
sounds like a really neat guy.
Yeah.
And his grandson lives in Van Buren, I think. His grandson and his wife still come in and eat.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. They
That's
follow us on
right.
Facebook, and they bring us stuff. And they said, we're looking for old pictures. We're looking for things. And
And they brought some for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
a
I
couple
wish
things, yeah.
We got some
old
pictures.
old menus, some old. There's an old
Flyers.
some
and
flyer on the wall
Yeah.
about when they first opened, and the original grand opening in June. I think it was 27th, 28th, 29th, and
Wow.
it's on the wall. There's a picture of somewhere.
It's marketing from 1947.
Yes.
Local marketing.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's so great. I'm betting you guys still have some longtime employees that come in, and
Yes.
tell me about that.
We can talk about Jean,
Yes.
who was a
Jane.
waitress for 37 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, and her family, she comes in occasionally, but her daughter was just here last week. She comes all the time.
Oh yeah, she sat out and just cried. And, wow, and she made towels for us. I appreciate
Oh,
that. I
wow.
still use to this day, and I smile. Was it the Bowen kitchen? She put on one.
and
in
she
the
made one at the Venetian Inn
Yep.
kitchen, yeah.
That's great.
I mean,
Elsie May.
Elsie May.
Her son still comes in. He works for the city in
Okay.
Tontitown.
All
Elsie
right.
May was original waitress, cook.
Oh, wow.
She may did everything. I don't know. But anyway, so her son still comes in and eats probably once or twice a month. Eats
No
lunch.
kidding.
So we are open for lunch.
That's
a lot
great.
of people still don't know that. Sorry about that.
Yes, there you go.
Dishwashers still come into this day.
Yeah.
Griffin's mom.
Oh yeah, Connie. She tells us
She's-
about the days when they hand wash the dishes. There was no dishwasher. She
And then-
said, "I was the dishwasher."
Oh gosh.
And then they
Oh,
would
my
dunk
gosh.
them in the sink.
A lot,
Yeah.
a lot of jokesters, pranksters going on back there.
So much memory.
A lot of people have got will tell you they've had their first jobs here. That was my first job. I was a dishwasher. I was this, and
Yeah.
So several people will comment on that on Facebook a lot.
That's great.
Come in and tell us, I used to work here.
So good.
I understand Richard from Richard's Meat Market.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
He used to cut steaks for here, and he was I guess he was your uncle. No.
I don't know.
He was his brother was married to your aunt at one time.
Yeah.
Martha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry.
It's Northwest Arkansas. Everybody's linked in somehow, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
When I
everybody's related
first
some way.
married, when we first got engaged, and Jeff told me he was from Tontitown, the joke was, I think everybody out here is related.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the joke now is people come in all the time, and I have 3 of my children that work here, and I'll come by and I'll talk to them. I'll say, "Hey, that's your cousin. Hey, that's your cousin. That's your cousin." And they're like, "Oh, Mom."
It's
Like, I don't even want to know.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So, 2018 Arkansas Food Hall of Fame, also old school Italian restaurant in the nation, best old school Italian restaurant in the nation. Those awards, tell me about that.
Humbling.
Yeah, humbling.
Very humbling. Proud. I'm proud to
Pardon me.
to be part of this restaurant
Yeah.
and that heritage. It's nothing to take lightly.
Yeah.
I tried to tell the guys in the back. This comes with weight. Every plate that comes out there comes with weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think something to really pay attention to, and you were telling me about it before we turned all the audio and video on, was the best old school Italian restaurant in the nation. That award, the process of getting that. I mean, it's nothing you guys did other than normal day to day.
We didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
One of our waitresses, KNWA, picked up the story, and I guess there was a food critic in here about January of 2024. We were in 25. Yeah, 24.
ago, yeah.
a year ago. Came in and I guess reviewed us, and I think he's used to work for the Wall Street Times, maybe. I'm
Wall
not
Street
sure the whole
Journal?
story.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he came in and ate, and none of us knew, and he wrote up a big article on us, and he named us the top
Old school
Italian restaurants in the nation, in the country.
That's great.
And KNWA ran with the story, and we had no clue. Like I said, one of my waitresses sent me the article, and I didn't know. And it's on our Facebook page. You can read about it. And they ran the story for about a month.
Month or
And then
two.
even
That's great.
during KNWA on their Facebook, ran it again during the Super Bowl last year.
Did they really?
They
Wow.
ran the story again.
Wow.
They ran it on TV on the little teleprompter at the bottom on the news.
Little crawl?
Yeah. It came across there.
Nice.
Venetian Inn, named top old school Italian restaurant in the country.
That's great.
So
awesome. So much history. Unbelievable. Betting there are some we were talking a second ago about longtime customers as well.
Absolutely. There's a sweet little couple, Glenn and Gwen. They come out here and eat lunch. They come out regularly, and unfortunately, just recently they were at an assisted living, but still in good shape. But anyway, they lived out here in Tontitown, and they had their first date out here. Their first anniversary, and 2 weeks ago, they just celebrated their 65th anniversary out here. So we did a picture of them and put it on our Facebook page.
They make us smile.
Oh my gosh, they're like my grandparents. They come in all the time and give me a hug, and I just want to go home with them. I mean, they're so sweet.
Our kids love them.
Oh, they do.
Of course.
They always ask about our kids,
love?
and
Oh, what's not to love?
very, very sweet.
You guys ready to talk food?
Sure.
We'll talk food. We got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that's all next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week. And for that, we go to Jeff. Sir, what is your tip?
Wow, I'm going to get in trouble. Tip is, no matter what you're cooking, no matter where you're cooking at, just remember you're making memories with your family, your friends, your loved ones. It might not be the best meal. It might be the best meal that you ever had. But the thing you'll remember most is the memory, the time that you took with that loved one.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. We'll be right back.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
Back in 2006, I had constant gout. I know that sounds weird, and I know that sounds strange to start on, but I had it. It was awful. I didn't drink beer every day. I didn't have a lot of salt. I didn't eat shellfish every day. Those are the things that cause it normally. I didn't have all that. I didn't do all that. Doctors would give me gout medicines, and one of them gave me this hugely allergic reaction. It's called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And I ended up in the hospital, and I'm very thankful it happened, because there was when we figured out that I had kidney disease. And that's when they diagnosed it, and it was diagnosed early. So I was able to take care of myself. My doctor said, you've got probably a decade until you're going to need a kidney transplant. I thought, what does he know? Well, I had 16 years, thankfully. But I eventually needed one. And for those that need one, it takes people to get on the registry to be able to, for people to be able to have transplants. Organdonor.gov is where you go. You can also use the health app on your iPhone, or if you're in Arkansas, go to the Department of Finance and declare it on your license, or if you're outside of Arkansas, just go to your DMV, do the same thing. Hugely important. That's why I'm here right now. I can test that I'd be here right now, but I'd look gross because I'd be so much on dialysis, and I'd be pale, and I wouldn't be in a good mood, and these fine people here wouldn't like sitting with me, and others as well. So organdonor.gov is where you go to get signed up. Go, please do it, because on your untimely demise, you can save 8 different lives with all of the organs. So thank you for listening, and thank you very much. And we are back. Jeff and Melissa Bowen here, Venetian Inn. Guys, it's time to talk food. Are we ready?
We'll give it a shot.
We'll give it a shot. That's not the answer I was looking for.
Yes.
You guys still, like recipes from 1947, you're still employing today.
Yes.
Very important to you. That's the foundation you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Tell me how important that was for you guys to be able to, maintain that and learn it.
Oh, It was hard. It was, you get down there and start reading and just trying to define each recipe the way it was. And, wow, it was nice though. Once you got down to the foundation and some of it still had great walls, you just stayed the course.
Yeah.
Just stayed the course.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's just been great.
Great
flavor.
So when you started cooking back there, did you have a lot of testing you were going through to make sure you were getting it right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the taste tester.
Yes.
Bless your heart.
But he's like, hey, you got to take this. You got to taste this. You got to taste this.
How was it?
I'll tell him. Did you put this in there? Did you put this in there?
Yes.
No, that's not right. Put that in there.
A little more.
A little more.
A little more of this.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
of that.
Pinch of this, pinch of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She's always done that in our marriage life. Really.
Okay.
Except for that time I had COVID and I didn't come out here because I wouldn't taste anything. That was awful. Sorry. They left me at home that week.
Yeah, you can't be the taste tester if you have COVID. No. It's not how that works. Well, I want to talk about the number one, the chicken and the spaghetti.
Yes.
That's been the hallmark here forever, since 1947.
Yes.
Tell me about chicken and spaghetti, because that's not a popular combination nationwide.
Definitely not. The way I understand, when our ancestors, when they migrated from, I'm trying to think of the town in Louisiana. They came out on the south side, and then they moved in here. Mm-hmm. That's what they were serving then. Chicken was available.
Chicken capital of the world.
Yes. And so they just somehow, it's a weird sounding combo, but it really does hit.
Yeah.
A touch of Italy and the Ozarks.
Yes, definitely with the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Homemade.
Yes.
From scratch.
Yes.
Tell me about that. You guys do a lot of that.
Pasta.
Our pasta,
Yes.
all our lasagna, fettuccine, salad dressing,
The breading mix.
the the
batter.
rolls.
Yes. Holy
Excellent.
cow, lasagnas. Yeah. The stuffing for the raviolis.
Yeah, the ravioli. Forget about the
Everything is
raviolis. That's an old recipe, the raviolis. We had I don't know if I can share this or not, but we had a group of about 20, 25 Little Debbie employees that were in town for a convention.
Okay.
And when one of the guys at the table,
She's going to share it anyway.
he said, the raviolis, he said, oh my gosh, he got the raviolis, and he said, that's great. He said, my family's from New York, and he said, every year, he said, I'm Italian, we get together at my Nona's house, and this is what we make. We make something like this, chicken ravioli. So
Nice.
it's a passed down recipe.
Yes.
From Italy.
I think you can mention that.
Okay.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
How much pasta do you guys make in a week?
About 100 pounds, if not more.
And you guys make it by hand?
Yes.
Are you arthritic yet? I mean,
Yes. My hands from the rolls, yeah. I said, I always joke around there, I said, I'm 52, but I said, when I'm about 65, 70, I said, I don't know if my hands can handle this anymore. We have to get someone else in here.
I was about to say, you either have a firm handshake or you've got arthritis, one of the two.
It's probably the arthritis.
Okay, all right. Well, it's one of the two.
Everybody here makes fun of me.
Well,
We're old,
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. We're not far there. Tell me about the Italian chicken wings.
Oh, love that.
Bring your bib.
Oh, a little messy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But
I just popped that out. I mean,
First off, what is it?
Well, it's an actual. It's not pieces of wing. You get an actual whole wing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the winglet, the drumlet. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
we kind of just play around one day.
Yeah, I had tons of chicken wings left over. The way we get our chicken in, it comes in a case, and not a lot of people want wings.
Yeah.
Especially you order number one. I want a chicken leg, I want a thigh, I want a breast, I want chicken.
Sure.
So we had all these wings, and I said, I've got to do something, with these. We just started breading and fried them up, and it's just wonderful.
Like I
Garlic,
said, bring your bib.
Yes.
So
Buttery.
it's garlic, it's Parmesan.
Yes, butter.
Serve it served with our homemade ranch dressing, and
Yeah.
oh man,
Nice.
we just decided to say, hey, let's put this on the menu on the appetizer, see if it goes over. And
So-
there's some people that don't. There's a lot of people that don't know about it yet, but there's some people that come in and
That's all they order.
Expressly order that. I saw it was on the lunch menu too.
Mm-hmm.
So putting something on the menu, you got to be careful what you take off the menu.
Oh, yes. Oh yeah.
That response,
man, holy cow!
Have you been death threat for anything you've taken off yet, or anything like that?
Not yet. Not yet.
But it's close.
Oh,
I mean,
my
it's just
gosh.
it's hard. I mean, if you had to take something off or revamp it or whatever, it's rough. This time, we got rid of the smalls on our menu. This time, we had the half orders and stuff of like spaghetti.
Okay.
I said, if we're going to make spaghetti, let's give them enough that they can take some home for the next day. I know it's more than probably anybody could have, but I did add garlic butter noodles of our marinara. We weren't even going through our marinara that much. Now we're going through, not the meat sauce, but the marinara.
Sure.
We're going through
The Italian fries.
Oh yeah, I love those.
We've added those.
Well, now you got to explain what they are.
Okay.
You got to explain.
Wow, you go for it.
Just a bed of fries with our fettuccine sauce and mozzarella cheese. It's like, think about cheese fries.
Yes.
Yeah.
But our version of Italian fries because they have the Alfredo sauce on it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Great.
That's something new we've added. Pretty good.
That sounds good. It sounds heavenly.
I used to be 150 pounds.
Oh. Yeah. Then you got in the restaurant business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, you have to taste everything, make sure it's approved quality, you know.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
Bless you for falling on that sword.
Yeah, so if I'm a little bigger, it's because, the rolls, I have to try a fresh roll. And I mean, there's
That's right.
something about when the fresh roll comes out of the oven.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to try it.
You can smell it. It doesn't matter where you're at, especially if the hood vents are on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can be
We've
outside
been-
and it's like, the
Should I tell-
bakery's open.
Well, yeah, it's, how Krispy Kreme has their hot rolls, hot donut sign.
yeah. Oh,
I've been
yeah.
looking for a sign that says hot rolls.
You need one.
I'm going to turn it on in the back and pull the little string and, hot roll come up.
Yeah. Absolutely. You need to do that.
And I need to find me one. So if somebody can find me one, make me one, let me know.
Hot roll neon sign to click on when the rolls are
Absolutely.
hot out of the oven.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Send that lady in India. Got a lady that comes in from India, takes a dozen of rolls back home.
Oh, really?
She's in town.
Oh, wow.
I mail them out to different places. Texas,
Really?
Rome, Georgia. Just
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they make it. I was shocked. I was like, they're not smushed, and they're not. I mean, they made it because I make people send me a message. Let me know if they made it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Mail order rolls.
I know.
Hot roll sign. You
Just
guys
can't
are
get
onto
the fried
something
chicken
here.
to ship.
What?
Can't get the fried
Oh,
chicken
no,
to
no,
ship.
no, no. You got to come here for that.
No, you don't want to put that in the mail. Tell me a little bit about, you guys also do steaks.
Yes.
And tell me about, I got to start with the prime rib, of course.
Oh,
Because you got that and a
love
steak
it.
for two. You said those were,
Yeah,
The big ones.
Top big ones.
Yeah.
I learned the prime rib from my aunt working at her restaurant when I was about 15, 16 years old. See that prime rib just sitting there on top of the oven. They got it all seasoned, it's getting ready to go in the oven. I thought, holy cow. And some time about a year ago,
Yep. New Year's Eve. New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, we tried it at the house. I said, I want to try it. But
Sure.
we brought it on here. And I said, that's what we got to do.
yeah.
Your uncle was over there, and he was over there for New Year's Day, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing, Jeff! You got to put this on the menu." And so we put it on the menu, and
Nice.
he comes in and brings friends and tells them about it, and
Awesome. Very good. Very
I
good.
just love it.
All right. Popular sandwich.
It's a toss-up, really, between the Italian chicken sandwich and the sausage sandwich.
Okay. Gotcha.
Slowly behind, catching up quick, too, is the meatball sub.
Meatball sub.
Love it. Italian sausage or Italian seasoned chicken breast with bell peppers, onions,
Yeah.
mushrooms,
Oh, yeah.
mozzarella cheese. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them. I had one the other day.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah. I just love them.
Whenever I'm at a restaurant, I'm not a huge restaurant dessert guy, but whenever I'm at a restaurant and I see tiramisu, you got to order it.
Wow.
absolutely.
And you guys have that here.
Yes.
And there's a little family dynamic in the back when it comes to who makes the tiramisu on what day. I think.
Yeah, my baby girl or me.
Yeah.
Our 17-year-old daughter.
Yes.
my husband, and she'll say, "Are you making it?" "Well, you're going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm going to make it." And then, "Dad, don't make it. I'm making it." "Why'd you make it?" "I wanted to make it."
Love it. That's perfect. That's awesome. So it's fairly popular, I would assume.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That and our cannolis. A lot of people don't know we have cannolis.
There you go.
We had a sign that said, "Holy moly, we have cannolis."
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, we do.
Guys, appreciate your time. It's been
Appreciate
great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where can folks find you online?
TheVenetianInn.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, even have a few TikToks out there.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
They're fun. Not a lot of people know about that.
Oh,
but
boy.
my daughter,
there you
17-year-old
go.
little baby girl,
Of course.
she is all into that, and she's got some
Perfect.
cute little things out there.
I'll have to check that out. That's cool. That's cool. And the address for those, for the three people that haven't been here?
582 West Henry D. Tonte Boulevard.
Perfect. And you can find Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Instagram and Facebook. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and please remember to tip your servers. Have a great week.
Go check him out.
See ya. Bye-bye.
you.